At first, nobody understood it. People laughed, pointed, took videos, because it looked funny, adorable even. This tiny little monkey, waddling desperately on his short little legs, trying with everything he had to keep up with one old, slow, completely unbothered grandpa monkey. Wherever Sotomaru went, Punch went. Whatever Sotomaru did, Punch did. If Sotomaru moved 2 steps to the left, Punch moved 2 steps to the left. If Sotomaru climbed, Punch climbed. If Sotomaru sat down for literally 5 seconds of peace, Punch appeared out of nowhere, squeezed himself into the exact same spot, and looked up at him like, "Hi, I'm here now. You're welcome." Visitors found it hilarious. Caretakers found it endearing. Everyone found it cute, but nobody, not a single person watching, understood what was actually happening. Because this wasn't just a baby monkey being clingy. This wasn't just a funny little habit. This was survival. This was a tiny heart that had already learned something devastating and was doing the only thing it knew how to do. Hold on with everything, and never let go. To understand why Punch followed Sotomaru everywhere, you have to understand what Punch's world actually looked like. Not from the outside, not from behind a camera, but from inside, from the perspective of something very small, living in a world built for things much bigger. The troop was loud, unpredictable, full of politics and hierarchies and tensions that nobody explained to Punch. Adults moved with confidence. They knew their place. They knew who was safe and who wasn't. They knew the invisible rules that governed everything. But Punch didn't know any of that. He was too small, too young, too new to a world that didn't slow down to explain itself. And so he made mistakes. The innocent kind, the kind that only babies make. He wandered too close to the wrong monkey. He tried to join groups that didn't want him. He approached adults who looked at him with impatience or annoyance or something colder than either. And slowly, without anyone meaning to teach him this, Punch learned one of life's most painful early lessons. Not every space is safe. Not every face is friendly. Not every outstretched world is one you can enter freely. Some doors are closed to you, and the only way you find out is by walking toward them and being turned away. For most babies, that lesson is softened by a mother, by family, by someone who says without words, "Come back here. You are safe with me." The world outside might be confusing, but this space right here is yours. But Punch didn't always have that thing. And then there was Sodomaru, old, slow, calm in a way that felt almost impossible inside a noisy troop. He didn't fight, didn't scramble for position, didn't scream or chase or perform dominance for anyone. He simply existed, quietly, heavily, with the particular stillness of something that has lived long enough to stop being impressed by chaos. When Punch first noticed him, nobody could say exactly why he was drawn there. Maybe it was the stillness. Maybe it was the fact that Sotomaru never reacted with aggression, never looked at Punch like he was in the way, never shifted his body in that particular manner that means you are not welcome here. He just let Punch exist near him. And for Punch, that was everything. The moment that changed it all happened on a cold morning. The kind of morning where the air feels heavy, where everyone moves slowly, where the troop settles into quiet clusters of warmth. Punch wandered in, like he always did, completely fearless, completely clueless, walking directly into a cluster of adults far bigger than him. Not because he was brave, because he simply didn't know enough yet to be afraid. He stood there, tiny, exposed, in the middle of monkeys who had no patience for a baby who hadn't learned his place. Tension built. One monkey shifted, another looked up with irritated eyes, and visitors who had been smiling seconds before felt their smiles disappear because something was about to happen, something not good, and little Punch still had no idea. He just stood there, looking around with curious eyes, completely unaware of how vulnerable he was. And then Sotomaru moved, not dramatically, not with speed or aggression or any kind of performance. He just walked over, slowly, calmly, and sat down beside Punch. That was it. No fight, no confrontation, no loud declaration, just presence. Just one old monkey placing himself quietly next to one tiny vulnerable baby. And somehow, that changed everything. The tension dissolved. The irritated eyes looked away. The cluster of adults settled, as if something had been communicated without a single sound. This one is with me. Leave him. He is not alone. And little Punch, standing in the middle of all of that, felt something he hadn't felt in a very long time. Safe, completely, unexpectedly. Safe. From that morning forward, Punch never left his side, not willingly, not if he had any choice. He followed Sodomaru the way a shadow follows a body, the way a child follows a parent through a crowded place, gripping, clinging, staying as close as physically possible, because his body had learned something his mind couldn't fully process yet. This is safety, this specific monkey, this specific presence. This is the place where nothing bad can reach me. And once a frightened little heart finds that place, it doesn't let go easily. The moments between them became legendary. Sotomaru would find a peaceful corner, finally, a quiet spot, some shade, no chaos. He would lower himself down with the particular dignity of an elderly monkey who has earned his rest, close his eyes, begin to drift, and then tiny hands, tiny feet, Punch materializing from nowhere, climbing directly onto him, starting at the back, moving to the shoulders, higher, higher, until finally, he reached the very top of Sotomaru's head and sat there, triumphant, looking out across the enclosure like he owned everything he surveyed. While Sotomaru sat beneath him, eyes half open, expressing with his entire face the ancient wisdom of grandparents everywhere. This is my life now. This is what I have become. A hat. I am a hat. Visitors laughed every single time. And honestly, it was funny. It was genuinely, purely, delightfully funny. But underneath the laughter, there was something else. Something that only appeared if you kept watching. Because Sotomaru never once pushed him off, never snapped, never made Punch feel unwelcome. Not once. He accepted every single chaotic, clumsy, intrusive little visit with the same bottomless patience every time. And that patience was not nothing. That patience was everything. Then came the grooming attempts. Oh, the grooming attempts. Punch would sit beside Sotomaru with tremendous seriousness. Tiny hands moving through fur with deep concentration. Tiny face completely focused, like a student studying for the most important exam of his life. He had clearly watched the older monkeys grooming each other. He had clearly decided he understood how it worked. He did not understand how it worked. He pulled random patches of fur. He touched places that clearly needed no attention whatsoever. He investigated things with a curiosity that was medically unnecessary. At one point, he grabbed Sotomaru's ear with both hands and tugged. Visitors gasped. Sotomaru opened one eye, looked at Punch, looked at the ear situation, closed his eye again, sighed the deepest sigh in the history of sighing, and let him continue. Because that is what love looks like sometimes. Not grand gestures, not perfect moments, just a tired old monkey deciding that his ear is apparently the price of giving a lonely baby somewhere to belong. But then came the day that changed everything. The day that made people stop laughing. That made the videos go silent. That made everyone watching feel something shift in their chest. Punch woke up early, like always, energy already running, ready for his person. He looked toward Sotomaru's usual spot. Empty. He checked the resting platform. Empty. He checked the shade, the rocks, the corner where the old monkey liked to sit in the morning light. Empty. 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 At first, Punch just looked confused. The particular confusion of someone whose routine has been disrupted, whose world has shifted slightly off its axis. He stood still for a moment, looking around, processing, and then he started moving, walking from spot to spot, checking, searching, his energy completely different from normal. No climbing, no playing, no chaos, just quiet, methodical, increasingly desperate searching. Visitors noticed immediately. The laughter stopped. People started watching more carefully because something about the way Punch was moving wasn't cute anymore. It was heartbreaking. Because you have to understand what was happening inside that tiny mind. For Punch, Sotomaru wasn't just a monkey he liked. Sotomaru was proof. Proof that the world could be safe. Proof that someone would stay. Proof that he wasn't invisible. Proof that even a small, confused, frequently rejected baby monkey could matter to someone, could be worth protecting, could be chosen. And without Sotomaru there, every fear Punch had ever carried came rushing back at once. What if he left? What if everyone leaves eventually? What if safety was never real? What if I was always going to end up alone? He sat down near the rocks, small body curled into itself, eyes moving constantly to the entrance, to the path where Sotomaru always appeared, watching, waiting, and the hope in his face was the most painful thing anyone had seen in a long time, because hope that desperate on a face that small tells you everything about what that little heart has already survived. The minutes passed. Visitors stood quietly. Some didn't move, didn't take photos, didn't talk. They just watched Punch sitting there, waiting, and felt something very old and very deep move through them. Because we all know that feeling, the terrible specific feeling of waiting for someone who might not come back, of sitting in a space that used to be shared and feeling how enormous it becomes when you're suddenly alone in it, of searching for a face in a crowd and finding only strangers. We have all been Punch in that moment, every single one of us. And then, movement. At the far end of the enclosure, slow steps, a familiar shape, heavy, unhurried, completely unaware of the small crisis he had caused, simply by being somewhere else for a while. Grandpa Sodomaru, what happened next? People talk about it still. The moment Punch saw him, his whole body changed. Not gradually, not slowly, instantly, like a light switched on. Like something that had been holding its breath, finally exhaled. He stood up so fast he almost stumbled, and then he ran. Not his normal chaotic waddling exploration. He ran, full speed, straight line, no hesitation, no detour, just pure desperate relief, moving as fast as his tiny legs could carry him, straight toward the one monkey who had become his whole world. And when he reached him, he pressed himself against Sotomaru's side, harder than usual, closer than usual, his tiny body pushing into the warmth like he was trying to make sure it was real, like he was saying without any words at all, "You're here. You actually came back. I thought I was so scared that, please don't do that again. Please don't ever do that again." And Sotomaru, this tired, patient, endlessly gentle old monkey, did something small but enormous. He shifted, just slightly, making space, the way he always did, the way he had done from the very beginning, quietly saying the only thing that mattered: "I'm here. I came back. I always come back. This space beside me is yours. It has always been yours. And Punch settled into that space and relaxed completely, the fear leaving his body all at once, like water draining from a glass. That evening, golden light covered the enclosure. The troop settled, everything grew quiet, and there, pressed against Sotomaru's side, eyes closed, breathing slowly, was little Punch, safe, warm, home, not because anyone built him a home, but because an old monkey decided, without being asked, without being required, without anyone telling him it was his responsibility to be one. People ask sometimes why Punch's videos make them cry, why a small monkey on a screen can reach inside a chest and touch something that hasn't been touched in years. And honestly, the answer is simple. Because Punch shows us something we spend our whole lives searching for, and something we're terrified of losing. The feeling of being chosen. Not because you're perfect, not because you're easy, not because you never climb on anyone's head or yank anyone's ear or disrupt every peaceful moment with your chaotic little existence, but chosen anyway, chosen specifically, chosen because you are you. And Sotomaru chose Punch every single day, without announcement, without credit, without even seeming to notice he was doing something remarkable. He just kept showing up, kept making space, kept being the one steady thing in a world that had given Punch very few steady things. And maybe that's the real story here. Not just a funny baby monkey following a grandpa around, but a reminder that family is not always blood, that protection doesn't always look like strength, that sometimes the most powerful thing one living creature can do for another is simply remain, stay, be there, again and again and again, until the frightened little heart that was afraid to trust forgets what it felt like to be afraid, until the baby who searched every face in every room finally stops searching, because the one face it needs is always there.